This trans woman nails why Gen Z has become obsessed with trans identities.
Why do you think that your generation has such an affinity for this gender identity ideology?
There are a lot of different reasons. Like, there have been some pretty massive shifts in parenting that kind of lean more towards like helicopter parenting, whereas before, like, there was more of this norm of just sending your kids out to play, like, and come home when the streetlights come on. Like, my generation didn't experience that. In the old world, right? Like, you know, before my time, maybe in your time, kids actually had to come up with their own activities. They had to entertain themselves. They met up with other kids. They would do risky stuff. They would fall off a tree, and they would learn how to tolerate physical pain. They'd learn how to tolerate distress. Like, there was imaginative play in the younger years that happened. But when this is not happening, when you don't do it, when you're like 2, 3, 4, 5, you're missing out on all of those important skills of figuring out like how to interact with other people and how to figure out like who are you versus like these characters whose costumes you're putting on. So if kids aren't doing that and they're not playing these risky games where they could get hurt, yes, you may be saving them from a broken arm or a skinned knee, but what you are robbing from them fundamentally is the ability to like start to develop independence and really important skills.
Yes, absolutely. Also, notice how most of this transgeneration thing is mostly only happening in like white, upper to middle class, suburban area, white kids. Some of the kids that are living in the city, but still like upper class white kids. And you have to ask yourself why, right? I've talked about this on my YouTube channel in one or two deep dive videos, and I think it's because the other types of kids don't have time for these made up problems. Like, they actually have to go, like I did. I had to have a summer job. I had to have a job after school. These kids that are not experiencing these made up problems have actual problems or actual things that they need to get done and don't have the time or money to be on TikTok all day. We didn't sit around all day and complain about these made up bullshit oppression points.
Naturally, a kid who has no social skills or very few social skills, like, they're going to be pretty confused. They become totally secluded in these online forums. Kids really are not meant to be raised by a computer. This is just a perfect storm. Because of this massive shifts in parenting, shifts in technology, like our attitudes about child rearing going from kind of parent-led to being totally child-centered. So then the trans framework comes in, right? The claims of gender ideology, the claims that if you feel uncomfortable in your body, if you feel that your body is wrong, which basically every kid around puberty will feel, it means that it is therefore literally correct that your body is, in some metaphysical sense, wrong. And then what's the inroad to the trans framework, right?
Almost every single person I grew up with, knowing had some sort of body issue or body image issues, right? Like, at one point I was sweating through every deodorant. I had hormone problems. I hated my small chest. I had a friend that was like super, super tall and skinny, and she hated the fact that she was taller than all her boyfriends or people that she liked. I had multiple friends that were overweight and couldn't control their weight at that age. None of us thought we were trans. None of us even knew what that was back then. We knew that it was just a part of growing up, and it sucked for a very short amount of time, and we got over it. Because then we got jobs and went to college and had to go into the real world. This trans woman nails why Gen Z has become obsessed with trans identities.